YouTube. So this week's topic is going to be restrooms, and yeah. So if you didn't know, I use the men's restroom. I started using the men's restroom I think my senior year of high school, but I wouldn't use it at the school. At the school, so to those of you that are like in high school or middle school or wherever you are in your transition, or maybe even college, um, there are restrooms that are, unisex or a family bathroom. And at the high school, there was a unisex restroom in the office. And that's the only restroom I would use, I think, starting from my junior year. That's the only restroom I felt comfortable in. I felt so weird going into the girls' bathroom. Um, I don't know, I just felt like I didn't belong. And then I knew if I went into the men's restroom at the school, I would be looked at like, what are you doing in here? Like, either way, you know, I would probably get looked at. And it's not that I would care that people would look at me, just the fact that I didn't feel comfortable using a restroom. Not really what people had to think or say, just I didn't feel comfortable. Um, so to those of you that are like in high school or middle school, whatever, I'm pretty sure somewhere in your high school there's like a unisex restroom or a family restroom, whatever. And if you're not comfortable using the women's or the men's restroom, then that's always a safe option. And it's a lot more comforting, because it's for both, so like you don't have to feel like, oh, if I don't look like this, then I can't go in here, and if I look like this, And I use the men's restroom 100% of the time from the age of 17 to now. And I'm 19 now. So, yeah. Anywhere I go, I use the men's. Anywhere. It could be in my city, it could be in a different city, it doesn't depend. I mean, I just use it all the time now, and I mean, I use my packer, like, so, for those of you that don't have a packer and, like, you're, like, nervous because it sounds different or whatever the case may be, I'm not sure. I mean, I had all these thoughts, too, in my head before I started testosterone. I would, like, seriously, like, overanalyze everything. And now that I am on testosterone, I don't really overanalyze and overthink as much as I used to. So the fact that it might sound not right to some people, like, that has not been one idea in my head I've ever had, even before testosterone. And I didn't even have a packer. I didn't get a packer till I was already graduated out of a year out of high school. So, that it, like I said, it all depends on where you live and how it is there and how it is for accepting these kinds of things. But in the guys' restroom, no one's focusing on how your piss sounds. Trust me, no one cares. They're just in there to take a piss or a shit and get out. So don't worry about that. But I think it all just depends on how far along you are in your transition and how comfortable you are in your transition for the restroom. But trust me, even though I've been using the men's restroom for how long, there are times where I'm uncomfortable and I can't do it. Like, I don't know. There's just sometimes I'm just like, man, I probably shouldn't. So then I try to find like a unisex restroom. It just honestly depends. It doesn't happen all the time, but there have been some times where I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I should. So, I don't know. I think once I get further along into my transition, like, once my voice, completely drops and everything, I don't know, I probably feel even more comfortable going to the men's restroom. But it all depends on your comfort level. Like, you don't have to. If you don't feel comfortable, then don't. Like, don't just be like, oh, well, I'm trans, so I have to. You don't have to. It all depends on your comfort level and how you feel. And there have been times where, I'm pretty sure every trans guy, there have been times where you have to hold it, right? For, like, fucking who knows how long. And that sucks so bad. Like, I hate it. Usually, though, like, in my town, I do use the men's restrooms, but I do have a fear of seeing a guy that I know, just because, like, everyone knows about my transition, but, there's some people that just really don't get it, and, what can you do? But I'm really afraid of that day when I'm like, oh, hey, like, well, it's gonna be different because, I'll be further along, I hope, in my transition, and it will be a lot less harder to tell that, you know, that I'm even trans or whatever, that I'm just gonna like pass completely. But that's always a little fear in the back of my head. Not a fear because they're not gonna do anything to me, but I don't know. It's just, you know, like, oh, I've known you since, you know, you were freaking 8 and you're in the men's restroom. I don't know. It just all depends on you, honestly. Whenever you're ready, just try it. I think you guys should just try it one time, and then, like, if you're like, okay, no, I'm not ready, then, you know, don't force yourself. But if you're like, alright, then, you know, this is cool, this is alright, then, you know, do it. So yeah, like, at my college right now, I haven't came out to anyone that I'm trans because I've only been in school for a few weeks. So I have to, you know, come out. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's fucking noticeable. I mean, do you see any tits? There's no tits here, so, you know, like, and I don't know, but I do need to come out and tell them. I don't know how, like, I have a group right now, and I'm gonna tell them that I'm trans, you know? Because right now I use the men's restroom at the college. Luckily, every time I go, no one's in there, but, you know, what if there's someone in my class, like, you know, like, what the fuck? Because they use my birth name at the college, like, when they call roll, because, I don't know, I thought in college they didn't call roll and you just went to the classes, but this is a community college, so if you're not going to your classes, they'll kick you out, and then someone can fill your spot, so they have to call roll. But that's all I got, guys. For restrooms, just whatever you're more comfortable with, and don't do anything that you feel like you don't need to do. Don't put yourself in that position. Don't put yourself to where you're not comfortable, you know? So, that's all I got. On that note, peace out, guys, and have a nice rest of the Monday. Have a nice week. Yeah, peace out.